They say a single outfit can speak louder than 1,000 words, and few first ladies have proven that as dramatically as Melania Trump. From her early days as a model to her time in the White House, her fashion choices have sparked endless debates, rumors, and sometimes even outrage. But behind every perfectly tailored coat or sky-high heel, there may be hidden messages, and plenty of speculation about who or what she's really dressing for. Get ready to discover how Melania's Inauguration Day fashion and beyond turned political style into a worldwide talking point. Long before she became First Lady, Melania Knauss was a model with an eye for high-end style. Born in Slovenia, she rose to international fame, gracing magazine covers and runways, and eventually marrying Donald Trump in 2005. Even then, she showed a preference for bold, clean silhouettes, pairing European elegance with a certain glamour that only someone in her social circle could pull off. Most new First Ladies undergo a fashion spotlight, but Melania's was especially intense. As soon as Donald Trump announced his presidential run in 2015, style watchers analyzed everything about her, sometimes more closely than the political platform itself. Striking dresses for campaign rallies, crisp white jumpsuits at conventions, you name it. Her every choice invited speculation. During the campaign trail, she revealed a leaning towards structured dresses from designers like Roxanda Alincic and Roland Mouret. But even these early appearances showed she was never one to shy away from a statement piece. The press soon realized that Melania's seemingly quiet demeanor might hide a keen awareness of how fashion can change a conversation. It was as though she was silently saying, "I may not speak often, but my outfits will do the talking." By the time Inauguration Day approached, the world was eager to see how this former model would present herself on one of the most important global stages. Would she play it safe and subdued, or reveal something more extravagant, reminiscent of her glitzy past? Her every move was measured, every outfit detail carefully dissected by experts and critics alike. On the morning of the inauguration, Melania debuted a sleek, military-inspired coat in a bold color, an approach that signaled confidence from the get-go. Rumored to be curated with guidance from New York stylists, the ensemble included a pair of matching leather gloves and stilettos that may have been as excruciating to wear as they were spectacular to look at. But it wasn't the pain that had tongues wagging. Viewers noticed the unusual silhouette and design details that many interpreted as a nod to authority or even a subtle mirror to how previous First Ladies like Jacqueline Kennedy championed structured outfits. Some speculated the strong tailoring was a message, perhaps a symbol of unwavering support for her husband, or a visual demonstration that she was prepared for the battles of public scrutiny. After all, that day was fraught with political tension, polarized opinions, and global attention. By choosing a look that was undeniably striking, yet not overly flashy, Melania managed to appear both polished and powerful. When the evening celebrations began, she switched to a different style, a more fluid, flowing gown with off-the-shoulder elegance, reminiscent of old Hollywood. The color palette stayed consistent with her preference for neutrals or single-tone drama, emphasizing her figure without overshadowing the day's formal significance. Critics praised the look for its simplicity, though cynics wondered if the entire ensemble was trying to echo Jackie O's iconic minimalism too closely. It was the first glimpse of what would become a pattern. Melania splitting her public appearances into two distinct phases, daytime formality and nighttime glamour, making sure to keep watchers intrigued around the clock. No conversation about Melania's inauguration outfits is complete without mentioning the entire ensemble of power players present that day. Ivanka Trump, with her own fashion label background, arrived in similarly tailored pieces. The media quickly drew comparisons, debating whether Ivanka was outshining Melania or the other way around. Some news outlets claimed an undercurrent of rivalry, pointing to small details like the color choices or how many times each one smiled for the cameras. Rumors emerged that Ivanka, accustomed to her own brand of style leadership, occasionally stepped on Melania's territory in the White House. Allegedly, some stylists found themselves in a bind: work with Ivanka and risk alienating Melania, or the other way around. While no official statements confirmed these tensions, the fashion narrative was ripe for speculation. On the outgoing side, Jill Biden and her husband, then Vice President Joe Biden, quietly offered their final wave to Washington as they prepared to exit the political scene, at least for the time being. Jill's style, often lauded for being relatable and comfortably modern, posed a sharp contrast to Melania's more high-octane looks. The press jumped on the differences. One side portrayed Jill as the down-to-earth teacher, while Melania was labeled the stiletto-clad former model. Just like that, the conversation shifted from policy to clothing, from governance to designers. The media had a field day comparing and contrasting every detail, and the public ate it up. If Melania wanted attention, she got it, though perhaps not always in the way she intended. Of course, Inauguration Day was only the beginning. During her time in the White House, Melania ignited public discourse with certain wardrobe choices that critics found baffling or offensive. When images emerged of Melania stepping onto a plane wearing a green military-style jacket emblazoned with the words, "I really don't care, do you?" the internet exploded. Was it directed at the media? A subliminal message to detractors? A simple oversight? Reporters scrambled for answers, and the White House clarified that it was just a jacket with no deeper intent. Melania herself later suggested it was a message to the press, making it one of the rare times she admitted using fashion to speak volumes. Another uproar erupted when Melania wore stiletto heels en route to visit a region impacted by severe floods. Critics deemed it tone-deaf for a first lady to appear so dressed up while heading into a disaster-stricken area. Defenders argued she changed into more practical shoes upon arrival, but photos of her boarding Air Force One in tall pumps overshadowed the eventual outfit change. During a trip to Africa, Melania was photographed wearing a pith helmet, a style historically linked to colonial-era explorers. Observers worldwide condemned the fashion choice as culturally insensitive. It felt like each outfit meltdown overshadowed any philanthropic message she might have been trying to convey, fueling conspiracy theories that perhaps she, and maybe even the White House, wanted these controversies to keep people talking. With controversies swirling, it can be easy to forget that Melania's overall wardrobe strategy was deceptively simple. She often favored monochrome palettes: a solid navy coat, a striking white dress, a bold red jacket. These single-color statements allowed her to stand out in photographs without screaming for attention, except for those inevitable times she seemed to tip the scale into flamboyance. Look closely and you'll spot another hallmark of her style: accessories. Everything from gloves to belts to hats often took center stage. She had a knack for pairing a simple silhouette with an extravagant accent, like a wide-brimmed hat that gave her an air of mystery, or a thick belt that accentuated her waist. These accessories became conversation starters, fueling debates over whether she was referencing military attire, echoing old Hollywood, or simply trying to set a new trend. Melania's designer choices weren't limited to American labels. She often wore European fashion houses such as Dolce & Gabbana, Dior, or Valentino. But she also surprised critics by occasionally spotlighting lesser-known American designers, as if to silence rumors that she didn't support homegrown talent. It was never fully clear if these decisions were meticulously orchestrated or simply personal preference, but watchers around the world analyzed them as symbolic gestures, perhaps attempts to unify or to distance herself from political storms. As her tenure continued, the rumor mill only heated up. Some insiders claimed that she felt trapped under the White House microscope, while others insisted she thrived on the attention. More conspiratorial chatter suggested that every fashion choice was a carefully coded message, an olive branch to certain supporters here, a subtle snub to critics there. A few high-profile designers publicly refused to dress Melania, citing disagreements with Trump administration policies. This stirred curiosity over how her stylists navigated the pushback. Despite these refusals, she consistently showcased an array of couture, so it never appeared she was starved for fashion options. Then there were the times she seemed to match Donald Trump's energy, wearing strong colors on days he was making bold political moves. Observers questioned whether these were coincidences or part of a broader strategy to present a united front. On other occasions, her outfits felt subdued, leaving people to wonder if it was a silent protest or evidence of rumored marital tension. One particularly notable incident involved a last-minute change during a major White House event. Insiders whispered that Melania scrapped one planned gown for another after a heated argument behind closed doors. Did that change signify a symbolic snub, or was it just a typical style pivot? We may never know for sure, but the speculation only added more mystique to her fashion narrative. There's more to Melania's fashion journey than viral controversies and subtle messaging. Behind the glossy photos, a variety of lesser-told anecdotes paint a richer picture of her experience in the political limelight. Like other first ladies, Melania donated her inaugural gown to the Smithsonian Institution. But rumor has it that negotiations over how the dress would be displayed took longer than usual. Curators reportedly wanted to highlight the cultural conversation it sparked, not just the gown's craftsmanship. In the end, it quietly went on display, accompanied by a small plaque acknowledging its place in pop culture lore. An inside source once claimed that during a trip abroad, Melania's custom gown had a last-minute zipper break, leading to a frantic scramble by her staff. She ended up stepping out only seconds behind schedule, giving the illusion of calm composure. If true, it's a testament to how well she and her team managed near catastrophes with minimal fuss. Occasionally, she dressed for more heartfelt missions, visiting children's hospitals, veterans organizations, or international relief centers. On these days, her attire was usually more understated, softening her public persona. Ironically, critics often overlooked these gentle, approachable looks because they lacked the shock factor. The overshadowing controversies turned even her charitable visits into side notes in the coverage. Melania Trump's style during the inauguration and throughout her time in the White House proved that fashion is far more than fabric and stitching. It can be a platform for silent protest, an olive branch to opponents, or a way to claim authority in a male-dominated political realm. Whether you believe she meticulously planned each look or simply followed her personal taste, one fact remains. Everybody was watching, and everybody had an opinion. At its core, her approach to style reminds us that what political figures wear can spark global discussions, revealing deep cultural and ideological divides. So, was Melania's wardrobe primarily aesthetic, or did she perhaps master the art of influencing public discourse without ever uttering a word? Whatever your stance, one thing is certain. In an age where every photograph can go viral, the clothes worn by public figures have become a powerful form of communication. Melania's legacy in the White House may be debated for years to come, not just for her impact on politics, but for the way she elevated, and sometimes provoked, the conversation around how fashion intersects with power. Now it's your turn. Do you believe Melania's Inauguration Day looks and her subsequent wardrobe choices were carefully orchestrated messages? Or do you see them as personal statements overshadowed by the media frenzy? Let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to share your favorite outfit from this remarkably controversial First Lady.